So I just finished watching Owen Benjamin's new stream, and boy, his dad should be on suicide watch after this. But I want to give you my thoughts. Now, before I do that, I wanted to tell you my little bit of small history with Owen Benjamin. I don't know Owen Benjamin personally. He's not my best friend. I'm not a fan of his, but I've kind of been watching some of his stuff for the past 2 months. And I follow him on Instagram. I mostly follow him on Instagram, and I like to see his posts. But I watch some of his stuff. Usually I watch the highlight clips. I don't have time to watch a whole stream. But he talks about a lot of things. He gives you a lot of truth. And I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, and that's okay. And I don't necessarily agree with the way that he phrases everything. But in the crusade for freedom of expression, I think it's important to have guys that are a little bit more extreme, and we should defend those guys as well. But for the most part, I really like what he does, but I'm not some kind of super fan. I did a video yesterday that had nothing to do with him one way or another. I'll just show you here. And some guy commented, like, going off about Owen Benjamin, that I clicked on this guy's channel. He's obsessed with Owen. And being obsessed like that with Owen, that's not healthy, man. Apparently, like, I don't know what the deal is, but you go to this guy, every video is like trying to tear Owen down. I don't really care one way or another. I don't care that much. But I want to talk about his stream today because he got to the bottom of a lot of things. And I recommend that you go watch the video. I'll show you right here. This is it. It's called Sins of the Father and the Healing Power of Love. And I'm not going to try and summarize everything he did because I can't put it the way he did. Just go watch his video and make of it what you will. Now, basically his dad, it turns out his dad's been living an alternate lifestyle, and he found out about it at age 22 because his dad didn't clear the history on his roommate's computer after he looked at some stuff. But he told his dad, I guess at some point, if you ever hurt my mother or my family, I'm going to expose you to the world. And that's what he did. Apparently his dad stole $100,000 from his mom and spent it on male prostitutes. Now, about exposing your father, this is the thing that a lot of people are going to have an issue with. And me, as a son, my dad, I think of him, as far as I know, he's pretty much a saint. He's my dad and my grandpa. They're the two most noble guys, the two most honest guys, the two most honorable men that I've ever met. They're far better men than me. And my dad, to my knowledge, is almost a saint. And if something ever came out where I found something bad about it, I'd be pretty forgiving of him and pretty loving. And I'm the type of guy that I think if I found out that he murdered someone, I would be, the next minute, I would be digging a hole to hide the body in. Maybe not quite that extreme, but you get my point. And as a father now, as someone that has a son, I would like to hope that my son never feels the need to do something like this to me, because that would just be beyond heartbreaking, that in itself, let alone just revealing things that are just so embarrassing about you. So I don't necessarily agree with exposing your father like this, but in fairness, a lot of people that have been thinking that Owen's so extreme, this kind of shows you why. And the very positive thing that we can take away from this is that, and this is why I want you guys to go listen to this, when you guys are married, and a lot of you guys probably aren't married yet, but when you're married, when you have a wife and you have kids, if you see this video of Owen's, this very emotional video, I think that it can go into your mind, and so whenever you're tempted to go to the dark side, maybe you'll be tempted to cheat on your wife, maybe you'll be tempted to do something else that's shady and wrong, but if you have this in your mind, it serves as a reminder and a strong message as to not go to that dark side. And that's why I think this is so important for people to watch, and why I think it's ultimately such a positive video, and it really does help other guys. It helps educate us. And I know since I had my son, my whole world and my whole thinking has flipped upside down. If you would talk to a lot of people that knew me before being a father, they probably wouldn't like me very much now. They'd say, oh, you're a square, or you're so uptight, or whatever. But now as a father, I totally understand, and I can't imagine choosing that dark side at this point in my life. But I recommend you go watch the video because I think this can help lead you away from temptation. So go watch the video. That's my thoughts. Don't expose your family. Be loyal to your family. But on one hand, I'm very thankful that Owen did this, even though, in all seriousness, no joke, this is the kind of thing that someone would commit suicide over. Their son going on the internet, talking to thousands of people about these deep, dark secrets that he's all is exposed. It's funny, a long time ago, my wife told me that the Bible says someday all our secrets will be exposed. So maybe if it wasn't Owen that did this to his dad, maybe it'd probably just come out another way, because if you hear the story, I don't want to give away spoilers, but basically his dad sent emails, like, I think he forwarded emails, like messages back and forth with his lover. He sent them to the family financial advisor, who is also a family friend of theirs, and I guess this financial advisor said, well, there's no point in staying in the closet anymore. It's out now. So, according to my wife teaching me about the Bible and saying that, and this is an important thing to keep in mind, someday all our secrets will be exposed. So whenever you're going into temptation and you're doing God knows what, keep that in mind. Watch Owen's new stream. Hopefully he leaves this up a while. And I think this is a good message for us to take away, because it's going to be of a positive benefit to many men's lives. So go watch that now, and then you can come back to this channel and watch more of my videos.